Good morning, dear students. Today, in this particular module, in this particular video, I will be discussing with you the major points of distinction, the major points of difference that are there between Consumer Protection Act 1986 and Consumer Protection Act 2019. So, my dear students, you already know that earlier Consumer Protection Act 1986 used to be there, but due to various factors, due to various developments, like due to the emergence of internet, due to the emergence of, you may say, online shopping and cashless economy, digital economy, and various other factors, the need was felt to amend, the need was felt that some new consumer protection act should be there, and accordingly it was introduced in the parliament, and it was notified. The act was notified on 9th of August 2019, and from 20th of July 2020 it became applicable, it came into force in India. So in this particular video, in this particular lecture, I will be discussing with you what are the major points of distinction between these two acts. So let us start. You see, as far as scope is concerned, as far as area of coverage is concerned, the earlier act, Consumer Protection Act, was very, you may say, narrow in scope. Various things, various issues that were not discussed, that were not there in that act. And it was not the fault of Consumer Protection Act 1986 even, as no major developments were there at that particular point of time. So in order to curb those, in order to cover all these issues, in order to tackle all these, you may say, shortcomings or weaknesses, Consumer Protection Act 2019 came into being. And as far as Consumer Protection Act 2019 is concerned, it is wider in scope. It provides detailed instructions, detailed guidelines, rules and regulations in order to protect, in order to safeguard the consumer rights, and various other provisions, various, you may say, new provisions regarding inclusion of e-commerce. Like you say, various online portals are there, online shopping portals are there, like Amazon, like Flipkart, and all that. So these have been included. Then direct selling establishment of CCPA, that is there. I will be discussing about CCPA, Central Consumer Protection Authority, in detail. So that is why we may say that Consumer Protection Act 1986 was very narrow in scope. Its coverage was very limited. As far as Consumer Protection Act 2019 is concerned, it is very broad in coverage. Now, dear student, pecuniary jurisdiction. First of all, let me make it clear that very recently, in December 2021, it has been revised. Dear students, kindly keep in mind that in books, even on the internet, you will find the limits that are somewhat different from in Consumer Protection Act 2019. But latest provisions I am sharing with you, and these have been notified in December 2021. So let us differentiate between these two acts on the basis of pecuniary jurisdiction. Earlier, it was in Consumer Protection Act 1986, it was up to 20 lakhs. The district forum was entitled to, it was empowered to deal with the goods and all that up to rupees 20 lakhs. But this limit has been raised to 50 lakhs in case of Consumer Protection Act 2019. Similarly, State Commission, as far as earlier act was concerned, State Commission was empowered to deal with the cases ranging from 20 lakhs to rupees 1 crore. But now, as per the provisions of new act, this limit has been enhanced, it has been increased from rupees 50 lakhs to rupees 2 crores. And similarly, in case of National Commission, earlier it was entitled to, it was empowered to deal with the cases which are more than rupees 1 crore. But nowadays, the National Commission is empowered to deal with the cases which are more than rupees 2 crores. So it should be kept in mind. And once again, I am saying that you should not be confused. You should not be confused to incorporate the earlier provisions. I am discussing with you the latest provisions. Now, territorial jurisdiction. One major change has been made as far as Consumer Protection Act 2019 is concerned. Earlier, what used to be there? Earlier, the territorial jurisdiction where you may file the case, that used to be where seller has the office. So it was not in the interest of the consumer. So as a result, now changes have been made in Consumer Protection Act 2019 in order to further safeguard the interest of the consumer. Now a complaint can be instituted, it can be made in the district commission within the local limits of whose jurisdiction the place of business or residence of opposite parties is there, place of business or residence of complainant is there, or where the cause of action wholly or in part has been there. So it should be kept in mind, and it is in the favor of the consumer. Now next, as I have already told you, as I have already discussed with you, that no regulator used to be there as far as Consumer Protection Act 1986 was there. No such provision regarding CCPA, regarding Central Consumer Protection Authority was there in case of Consumer Protection Act 1986. But dear students, kindly note that some sort of a regulatory is there, some authority is there, that is Central Consumer Protection Authority, and it is basically there in order to regulate the matters relating to violation of rights of the consumer, unfair trade practices, and false or misleading advertisements which are not in the interest of the public, which are not in the interest of the consumer, and in order to safeguard the interest of the consumer. So this provision has been incorporated, and some director general of you may say investigation will be there, chairman will be there, and all that, and one proper constitution will be there, and they will be basically protecting, they will be basically enforcing the rights of consumer as a class. Then appeal against the orders passed by CCPA. As I have just discussed, that no such provision, no such authority, no such a regulator as CCPA, Central Consumer Protection Authority, used to be there in Consumer Protection Act 1986. So it was not there. No, it is obvious then that when this authority was not there, then no question was there of any appeal. But now, as CCPA is there, and under Consumer Protection Act 2019, appeal can also be made against the orders passed by the CCPA. Now, what is the provision? In case a person who is aggrieved by any order passed by the CCPA or central authority, he may file an appeal to the National Commission within a period of 30 days. From which date we will be counting the period of 30 days? Kindly note that we will be counting this period from the date of receipt of such order. So it is there and it should be kept in mind. Now, mediation. I think you know what is mediation. In order to settle something, some dispute, some you may say some differences, mediation is there. But no such provision used to be there in Consumer Protection Act 1986. But this unique provision, this very useful provision has been incorporated in Consumer Protection Act 2019. Now parties at any stage of the complaint, they may opt for settlement through mediation, and as far as mediation is concerned, no fee has been prescribed, no fee is there. But one thing, my dear students, you should keep in mind that no appeal lies after the settlement of dispute through mediation. In case you have opted for settling the dispute through mediation, then no appeal will be there. Now, ease of approaching consumer commissions. Ease of approaching in order to settle, in order to redress your grievance. What is the ease of approaching consumer commissions? As far as Consumer Protection Act 1986 is concerned, it is not so that it was impossible. It was there also, but it was somewhat difficult. No e-filing used to be there. No video conferencing for hearing of the case used to be there. So that is why some sort of you may say difficulty was experienced by the consumers. So in order to curb that, in order to tackle this issue, And now Consumer Protection Act 2019, in this case e-filing is possible. In fact, e-dakhil portal is there, and it is there in order to provide a hassle-free, speedy and inexpensive facility to the consumers. And nowadays video conferencing is also allowed for a hearing. So you may think, you may see that what type of revolution is there, and it is due to IT, it is due to digital revolution, it is due to use of IT in each and every walk of our life. Then days for appeal. Kindly note that it was 30 days. As far as Consumer Protection Act 1986 is concerned, it was 30 days. But now, as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 2019, it is 30 days. It is 30 days in case we want to go against the orders of district commission to state commission, then 30 days. In case we want to go against the, we want to make appeal against the orders of the state commission, and I think you know it very well that it will be made before the national commission, again 30 days period is there. But one major change is there. In case you want to make in case you want to make an appeal against the orders of the national commission before the Supreme Court, in that case 45 days period is there. Now, amount to be deposited before moving to the state commission. In case you are not satisfied with the decision given by district commission, you are free to move ahead. First of all, you will be moving to state commission. Then in case you are not satisfied, you may move to the national commission, and in case still you are not satisfied, then at last the apex body is the Supreme Court. As you know that Honorable Supreme Court is there, and final appeal lies to the Honorable Supreme Court. So in this case, what is the rule? Earlier in Consumer Protection Act 1986, it was there that you will have to deposit 50% of the amount as ordered by the district forum. Kindly note it, at that time it was known as district forum, now it is known as district commission, or rupees 25,000, whichever is less. But nowadays, my dear students, kindly note, nowadays only one provision is there, that 50% of the amount as ordered by the district commission, that is to be paid, that is to be deposited before moving to the state commission. It was not so earlier. Now in case you are you want to move to national commission against the orders passed by the state commission, in that case again it was as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 1986, it used to be 50% of the amount as ordered by the state commission, or rupees 35,000, whichever is less. So it was there in the Consumer Protection Act 1986. But again now the same provision is there, that is 50% of the amount as ordered by the state commission. So until and unless you pay the 50% of the amount, until and unless it is deposited by you, till then you could not you are not entitled to move to the national commission. Then in the same way, in the same you may say sequence, in case you are not satisfied with the decision of the national commission and you want to move to the Supreme Court, then what was there under the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 1986, it was that 50% of the amount as ordered by the national commission, or rupees 50,000, whichever is less, that was required to be deposited. But my dear students, now it is not so. Now 50% of the amount as ordered by the national commission, it is required to be deposited before your appeal is entertained by the Supreme Court. In case you have not deposited 50% of the amount as ordered by the national commission, Supreme Court will not be dealing with your appeal. So it is to be noted. Then e-commerce, as I have told you in the very beginning, e-commerce is basically concerned with online trading of, online buying and selling of goods and services. You may say various online portals are there, Amazon is there, Flipkart is there, and it has really changed the life of the customers. So in order to include these portals in order to deal these, you may say, bodies into the preview of the act. So Consumer Protection Act 2019 has been there. Earlier, no specific provision was there to deal with e-commerce, but nowadays, as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 2019, various provisions have been included. So, and all provisions applicable to direct seller, all those provisions have been extended to even e-commerce portals. Then new name to district forum. I think I have already discussed in the previous slides that earlier district forum used to be there at a district level, but nowadays it is known as district commission. So as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 1986, it was district forum, and what is more significant, that is it was not having any power to review its order. But nowadays, first of all, district forum is now known as district commission, and it has been granted the power to review. So it should be kept in mind. Now, unfair terms and conditions. As far as Consumer Protection Act 1986 was concerned, no such provision was there. No provision relating to unfair terms and conditions used to be there. But in the new act, in Consumer Protection Act 2019, section 49 subsection 2 and section 59 subsection 2, so these two sections basically give power to the state commission and national commission to declare any terms of contract which is unfair to any consumer, and it will be null and void. So the next is authority. I think discussed with you earlier. District consumer forum used to be there, now it is known as district commission. Earlier state consumer forum used to be there, nowadays it is known as state commission. Then NCDRC, National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, it is still there and it is still known as National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. The changes there in the pecuniary jurisdiction and limit, that I have already discussed with you in the, I think, first slide or second slide. Now, composition of state commission. Earlier, as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 1986, one president used to be there and two members used to be there as far as the composition of state commission is concerned. But nowadays, as per the provisions of new act, as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 2019, one president and four other members will be there in the state commission. So it should be kindly noticed. And penalties were there also in case of Consumer Protection Act 1986, and it was imprisonment for a term that may not be less than 1 month, but which may extend to 3 years, or which fine which shall not be less than rupees 2000, but which may extend up to rupees 10,000, or with both. But in case of Consumer Protection Act 2019, the limits have been changed. Their limit has been increased in order to avoid some sort of misleading advertisement and all that. Now, what is there? Rupees 10 lakhs and imprisonment up to 2 years. And in case of a habitual wrongdoer, in case of habitual defaulter, then in case of second or subsequent time, it will be rupees 50 lakhs and imprisonment may be up to 5 years. So that should be kept in mind. So thanks a lot, dear students. It was all from my side. As far as the major point of differences, major points of distinction between these two acts are concerned. Okay then, thank you. Okay.